quarterback.
Oh, there's a goal! Oh, at least I thought he was gonna until he blew it.
Hello everybody, how's it going? It's C-Rad from C-RadTV, and welcome to the March 2019 edition of Detroit Pistons Monthly. So yeah, this month, as we aim closer toward the NBA playoffs, the Pistons are still jockeying to try and earn a playoff spot. Because on the Western Conference side after March, all 8 teams are already locked in. They're all now jockeying for position. On the Eastern Conference side of the NBA, 5 playoff spots are already locked up after March, with 3 spots still up for grabs. So let's go ahead and let's see how the Pistons have done. So in the month of March, the Pistons went 10-6, with their wins coming against the likes of Cleveland. 2 wins against the Raptors, officially sweeping the season series against the Raptors. Also beating Minnesota, sweeping the season series against the Timberwolves. Also beating Chatoylet twice, sweeping that season series too. So yeah, Judah Tribe, eat shit. Also, the Pistons beat the Lakers to split that season series. The Pistons also beat the Phoenix Suns to sweep that season series too. So the Pistons have swept 4 teams this year. They also beat Orlando in a big crucial game in terms of the playoff race, since that who are the Pistons are contending with pretty much for a playoff spot. And the Pistons also wrapped up the month by beating Portland on Bad Boys Night, when the Pistons were celebrating their 1989 and 1990 championships, that dynasty. So yeah, the Pistons entering March, they enter 39 and 37th. They are 6th in the Eastern Conference, a game and a half ahead of 9th place. Yes, 6th to 9th is only a game and a half apart. It is that close for a playoff spot, and the 9th place team is Orlando. So it's a complete tight dogfight just to get those last 3 playoff spots. In terms of the Pistons, they are 5-5 in their last 10, and they enter March on a 2-game winning streak. The Pistons overall, in terms of points, the Pistons were averaging 109.6 points a game in March and giving up on average 105.4 points a game. Their field goal percentage was 45.5%. Their 3-point percentage in March was 37.7%. And their free throw percentage in March was 75.4%. Now, the Pistons overall were averaging 43.6 rebounds a game, 11.7 offensive rebounds a game in March, 23.9 assists a game in March, 6.9 steals a game in March, 4.2 blocks a game in March. They were averaging 10.5 turnovers a game in March, so the Pistons have gotten better at possessing the ball and winning the turnover battles. Pistons were averaging 20.4 personal fouls per game, so Pistons got a little bit to clean up there in terms of discipline. You know, just got to play smart, disciplined basketball. And the Pistons, their total technical fouls in March was a grand total of 6, averaging 0.4 technical fouls a game. But throughout this month, the Pistons had some form of inconsistency. Like, there were 2 games against Brooklyn and Miami, 2 teams the Pistons are contending with in the playoff race, where the Pistons scored 75 and 74 points, respectively, getting blown out in both games, just looking like complete shit, just complete inconsistency. It's like, the Pistons got to be more consistent if they want to be if they not only want to make the playoffs, but also make a deep playoff run. Like, you're not going to win games by scoring 75 points a game. You're not going to win that way in the NBA. Not in this game. So yeah, the Pistons in April, they got a lot to clean up entering the playoffs if they want to be a contender. And I hope they get hot at the right time, I guess. So in terms of player stats, Blake Griffin, he averaged 20.4 points a game. He missed 2 games in March. One was because of load management, and the other was because of a knee issue. He also averaged 6.4 rebounds a game and 5.6 assists a game. Bruce Brown played 15 games, missed 1 with an injury. He was averaging 3 points a game, averaged 1.7 rebounds a game, and 0.8 assists per game. But he's still solid in defense, covering the best NBA players on every night. So yeah, figure that one out. Andre Drummond, he was averaging 16.8 points a game, 16.6 rebounds a game, and 2.1 assists per game. Drummond was played all 16 games. Wayne Ellington, he had 11.9. He was averaging 11.9 points a game. Like, he had a couple 20-some point games. The best game he had in March was a 25-point game. So, he can get the job done. He's got to be more consistent. Rebounds, he was averaging 1.6 rebounds a game and 1.5 assists per game. Reggie Jackson, he was averaging 15.9 points a game, 2 rebounds a game, and 3.5 assists a game. Like, overall, most of this team, they gotta step up. They gotta play a lot better. Like, a lot of them had slumping months, but we're now in April, the sprint to the finish. Everyone's gotta step up if they want to make this team go deep in the playoffs. Thon Maker, I was averaging 6.4 points a game. He actually got to be a starter for a few games, so how about that? Rebounds, Thon was averaging 4.1 rebounds a game and 1.3 assists per game. So Thon Maker coming off the bench, he's done a really good job. I feel like he could do maybe a little more. I mean, he had 3 double-digit points games, so there's potential there, just consistency. Let's gotta get more consistent. And then Glenn Robinson, he only played 10 games. Of course, coming in on short notice. He averaged 4.9 points a game, 1.9 rebounds a game, and 0.5 assists per game. So it was really not much of a factor. Made a small impact. He did better than Bruce Brown in offensive points, so that means something. He even came in and replaced He even came in and subbed in for Bruce Brown when Bruce missed that one game with an injury. And he did better than Bruce did. So, I don't know. Do we keep Bruce Brown as starter, or do we go Glenn Robinson or somebody else? Everyone's wondering, CV Makayu did play 2 games, had a grand total of 3 points. Averaging 1.5 points a game, man, he just makes Bruce Brown look strong. Like, goddamn. Obviously, he's going to need a lot more playing time than that to see what his true potential is. We'll revisit Makayu in a few years, and we'll see how this works out. But yeah, in terms of the Pistons playoff race, 6 right now. If the playoffs start today, the Pistons will be playing Philadelphia in the first round. If the Pistons fall to 7th, though, they would play Toronto. But if the Pistons fall to 8th, they would be playing Milwaukee. Now, I know all 3 times we played Toronto, the Raptors had one or a few key players missed out with an injury. I know one game Kawhi Leonard was out, one game Kyle Lowry was out, and in another game Serge Ibaka was out. So yeah, there's that thing where the Raptors haven't played full strength. Even then, the Pistons still were able to win in close, tight games. I don't know, like, when one of your star players is missing and you can't get the job done, what does that say about the rest of your bench and your team? What does that say about them? It doesn't say much. Hell, the Pistons were able to beat Portland, and they didn't even have Blake Griffin in that game. And Portland's one of the top teams in the West. But the Portland will probably get exposed in the first round again. But we'll have to see. But yeah, in terms of the playoffs, worst case scenario is Milwaukee. If the Pistons play Milwaukee, they're going to get swept. Best case scenario, I would have to say the Raptors. The only problem is, though, if the Pistons do play the Raptors, then every game is going to be a road game. Because Little Caesars Arena is going to be full to the brim with Raptors fans. Prove me wrong, Detroit. Let's try and get more Pistons fans in there than Raptors fans. Philadelphia, that's an interesting scenario. Philadelphia's had some inconsistency issues, and they usually fall off around the playoffs. So that's an interesting one. I think Toronto's the best case scenario of who we should face if we want to have a shot at the second round. Because we've seen before, teams making all-in pushes usually backfire. But yeah, we're going to have to wait and see how this goes. So yeah, 6 games. Pistons got 2 games against Indiana. Yeah, I'm saying it here. Indiana's now the 5th seed. But they're like 6 games ahead of Detroit. So yeah, I don't think there's a chance Pistons catch Indiana. Then I think the Pistons' highest chance of getting a best playoff spot is 6. But, they gotta play Indiana, Oklahoma. They also gotta play Charlotte. And on the game against Charlotte, they'll be celebrating the Pistons' 2004 NBA title. That upset against the Lakers. And then the last 2 games are against eliminated teams in Memphis and the Knicks. I mean, if we can get one or 2 of the next 4, then I like our position. Then I like where we are going against Memphis and the Knicks. Since the Knicks and Memphis will more than likely be tanking to try and win the draft lottery and win the sweepstakes for Zion Williamson. But, we're going to have to wait and see how this goes. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for me here for Detroit Pistons Monthly. I've been C-Rad from C-RadTV. I'll see you after the end of the regular season, when we know if the Pistons will make it in or if they'll be out. But yeah, hope everyone has a great day and peace out.
Oh, there's a goal!